Hey, I'm Sarah. Welcome to AI Spark, where we unlock the power of AI. Let's get started. Today, you're going to learn how to create bedtime stories for kids, quickly and for free, and how to make videos like these successful channels. I'll walk you through each step, so even if you're brand new to this, you'll be able to follow along easily. In just 5 simple steps, you'll have a short video ready to share. Step 1. First, we need ideas for our stories. Let's ask ChatGPT for 5 ideas. Okay, I think I like idea number 3. We'll take that idea to the site Perchant. You'll find the link in the description. Just paste the idea from ChatGPT into the text box. I'll specify that it's a blue dragon, so the images will hopefully have a consistent color. You can choose a voice for the narration of the story. It really doesn't matter which you choose since we are going to generate the voice ourselves later on. Make sure images are enabled. If you want a specific art style, you can enter it here. I'll go with 3D Disney character. Then, choose the length of the story. I'll select the short length. Finally, you can pick some background music. That also doesn't matter since we will choose our own music later. When you've set all your options, click Start Story. The site will start writing your story immediately, and after the first full sentence is written, the voice narration begins.
Once upon a moonless night in the mystical land of Slumberia, there lived a young dragon named Drowsy. Drowsy had eyes that drooped like the petals of a sleeping lotus and a snout that quivered with every yawn.
You can start some background music to get a sense of how the final product might sound.
With every second that ticked by, but his mind remained as active as the fiery volcanoes that dotted the distant horizon.
After a while, images start appearing as well. You get 4 to 6 image variations per scene, so there are plenty to choose from. Here's the final result. Now, save the images you need by right-clicking on them and saving them to your computer. The images are small and square, which isn't ideal for our project, but we'll fix that later. We'll also save all the story text. Awesome! Now that we have our story and images, we're ready to move on to the next step. Step 2. Now we are going to remake the images with the right aspect ratio by expanding them. Go to Diffuser Image Outpaint on Hugging Face. It's a totally free tool. Start by uploading the first image. Then, select the aspect ratio you want. Since we're making a YouTube video, I'll choose 16:9. If you want to select where to extend your image, you can. But in this case, I think middle works best. Under Advanced Settings, you can input the exact resolution you want for your final image. You can also adjust how much the newly generated image overlaps with the original by changing the mask overlap percentage and selecting whether it overlaps on the top, right, left, or bottom. If you click Preview Alignment and Mask, you can see how the mask looks. It's the red area. Adjust this until it looks the way you want it to. When you're ready, click Generate. After a few seconds, your expanded image is ready. Download it to your computer by clicking this little icon. Continue expanding the rest of your images. Now, we're ready to move on to the next step. Step 3. Now, it's time to generate the voice for the narration. One of the best options is 11 Labs, so we'll go there. You get 10,000 free credits every month. Start by clicking on Voices. I will go to this collection that has voices that suit story narrations, but I suggest you do your own search if you don't find one you like on this list. There are plenty to choose from. Click on a voice to listen to it.
Hi, I'm Amelia, a super high.
You were looking for a teenage narrator, and
I had been sitting by the lake, the stillness of the water reflecting the.
We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant?
In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity.
I will go with this one. Click the plus sign to add it to your own voice collection. Then, click the T to use it. That will take you straight to the text-to-speech window, where you can paste your text. You can only paste 5,000 characters at a time, so if your text is longer, you may have to split it into several parts. I divided my text into 2 parts and pasted the first section. If you want, you can fine-tune your voice by adjusting these settings. When you're ready, click Generate Speech. After a few seconds, your voice file will be ready.
Once upon a moonless night in the mystical land of Slumberia, there lived a young dragon named Drowsy.
Download it to your computer. If you've divided your text into several parts, continue generating the rest of the narration. When you have all your narration ready, we're ready for the next step. Step 4. Now, let's find the perfect background music for our video. There are plenty of places to find music, but always check the license before downloading to ensure you're allowed to use it as needed. I went to Pixabay, clicked on Music, and searched for background music. Under Genre, I selected Modern Classical. For duration, I chose 8+ minutes. I try to avoid all music marked with this symbol because it means it has a content ID. And from what I understand, the creator of the music can choose to put ads on your video or take a portion of your revenue if the video is monetized. You can read more by clicking this link. So, let's listen to some of the tracks. I think I'll go with this one. If we open it in a new tab, we can clearly see that it's free for use under the Pixabay content license. Now, I'll download it to my computer. So now that we have all the images, voice narration, and the background music, we're finally ready for the last step where we put it all together in a video editing software. I personally use the free CapCut version, but feel free to use whatever software you prefer. Step 5. Now I'm going to show you how we can put everything together to create a nice bedtime story video using CapCut. Start by importing all your images, voice, narration, and music. Then, place the first image on the timeline by clicking the plus sign on it. I think we should add a title at the beginning with the name of the story. Click on Text, and then Default Text. Add the name of your story here. Go to Effects to change the look of the title. Then, go to Animation and In, and choose how you want the text to appear on the screen. I'll choose Zoom In, and change the duration a little so it doesn't go too fast. Then, I go to Out, and choose how the text will disappear from the screen. I'll go with Zoom Out. I then extend the image duration on the timeline by dragging it to the right. With my cursor placed at the point where my title screen disappears, I go back to Media and add the first part of the voice narration. Now, I just have to listen to the story and place each image where I feel it should go, adjusting the duration so it matches the narration.
There lived a young dragon.
When all the images are matched with the voice narration, I start adding transitions to the clips. Select the first clip on the timeline and go to Animation and In to choose how the clip will appear. I'll choose Fade In. Then, go to Out and select Fade Out so it transitions smoothly to the next clip. Click on the next clip and repeat the process, choosing a fade in and fade out. Do this for all your clips. Now I'm going to show an easy way to make the images move a little. Go to Effects and Motion. Before adding an effect, I split my first clip so that the title section doesn't move. I place my cursor on the timeline where I want the cut. Then click this button to split the clip into two parts. With the second part selected, I click 3D Zoom Pro. It takes a few seconds to process the effect, and once it's done, we have almost an animation of our image.
Once upon a moonless night in the mystical land of Slumberia, there lived a young dragon named Drowsy. Drowsy had eyes that drooped like the petals of a sleep.
If I delete this effect and choose 3D Zoom instead, we can see how that looks.
Once upon a moonless night in the mystical land of Slumberia.
I then select the next clip on the timeline and add 3D Zoom Pro. It looks great. I continue adding effects to the rest of the clips, alternating between the two effects. You can experiment with other effects if you'd like. When all the clips have effects added, I place my cursor at the beginning of the timeline. Go back to Media and add the background music. I lower the volume slightly so the music isn't too loud. Move the cursor to just before the title disappears and click to add a keyframe. This ensures the volume stays the same up to this point. I then move the cursor to just after the title ends and the voice narration starts. I lower the volume so the voice is clearly heard. A new keyframe is automatically added. You can see it as a blue dot.
Once upon a moonless night in the mystical land of Slumberia, there lived a young dragon.
Now, let's adjust the ending. Place your cursor just before the voice narration ends. Select the music track and add a keyframe for volume. Move the cursor to where the voice ends and raise the volume. Grab the end of the music clip and shorten it so it ends with the last image. Add a fade-out effect to the music. Let's add ending text too. Place your cursor just before the last clip ends. Go to Text and click Default Text. Change the text to the end or whatever you prefer. Go to Effects and choose a style you like for the text. Extend the title clip so it ends alongside the last image. Go to Animation and choose an in and out animation for the text. If you want the images to move more, you can add keyframes to zoom in, move up, down, or sideways. I did this, but it's totally optional. That's it. Your bedtime story is complete. Let's check out the final result.
Once upon a moonless night in the mystical land of Slumberia, there lived a young dragon named Drowsy. Drowsy had eyes that drooped like the petals of a sleeping lotus, and a snout that quivered with every yawn. His scales shimmered a soft blue, reflecting the quiet hues of the twilight. Yet, despite his name, Drowsy couldn't fall asleep. He tossed and turned in his cozy lair.
You now have an easy and fast way to create bedtime story videos, so it's time to bring your ideas to life. I'd love to see your creations, so drop a link in the comments and share your masterpiece. Get started and let your creativity shine.
Grew heavier with every second that ticked by, but his mind remained.
That's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future tips, tools, and tutorials. And remember, all it takes is one spark to change everything. See you in the next video.